Claire here in the Pacific Northwest, Puget Sound, Grow Zone 8B. This is the beginning of October, my favorite month of the entire year. I've been celebrating fall since probably August 1st. And then it officially became so, what was it, last week or the week before? But now that it's October, it actually feels like it. The leaves are changing. The weather is the perfect temperature. It's time for sweaters, and it's not a regret it in the afternoon kind of situation. I'm quite comfortable right now, and I plan to be in a few hours from here. Um, but as well as with the weather changing, I was really worried about my plants to see how they were going to take it. But it turns out they are loving the change of temperature and the atmosphere as well. So I cannot wait to show you the updates on what's going on out there, as well as some adventures that we've gone on this week as a family. And also, I'm going to share with you a recipe that is healthy, spooky, and adorable that your kids will ask for all month long. And bonus, it only takes about 35 minutes to make. And of course, now that I've learned how to make bread, experiments with that as well. So come with me. I will show you what's going on in the garden and the kitchen, and we'll F around and find out.
Here is the arugula, getting nice and big. It's got a new leaf there. So does this one. These are our beets. Radishes. They're all doing so well. Oh, look, this one has a little extra little leaves. This is the spinach. I thought it would have been a little bit fluffier looking. Hopefully I put the right seeds in the right spots. And then here is some of the kale, doing pretty good right here. And then our beets are still coming up. I think this was the multi-variety bed. Doing well. The broccoli's trunk is getting thicker. Of course, here is our carrots. Look how tall this is getting. And then our beans have all these new growth in the middle. So as our peas are finally starting to get their little thing. Guys, check out our kohlrabi. It's got even more leaves coming up in it. And then this is getting sturdier and sturdier every week. It just is growing, and the leaves are getting more bushy, and the stalk is getting sturdier. This week we went to a glass pumpkin patch here in the Tacoma area. In Washington, Tacoma, and Seattle area is very well known for their blown glass. There's several museums dedicated to it, as well as famous blown glass artists are native to here. And a week would not go by without a visit to the farm store and checking out the baby chicks. They still have them, and buying new seeds that we may or may not plant.
I'm gonna
this guy's so
buy
sweet.
you these flowers because you bought me a bunch of root beers.
Aww. So I'm going to show you how to make the cutest stuffed peppers for Halloween. They're going to be jack-o'-lantern stuffed peppers, and it just takes some ground beef, some rice cauliflower, some pepperoni, some Italian spices, some cheese, some tomato sauce. Basically, you're just going to start browning your ground beef, and while that's browning, then you're just going to want to cut up your jack-o'-lantern. So you're going to want to take your knife and cut all the way across the top of the pepper, and you'll set that top part aside after you get the seeds and all the gunk off of it and out of the insides and clean it out. And then you'll just take your knife and you'll carve a cute little pumpkin face in there, just 3 little triangles for the nose and the mouth, and the nose and the eyes, and then a cute little snaggle-toothy smile for the spooky mouth. And you could even get fancy, but just tonight I was actually in a super duper hurry because we only had about 45 minutes to make this, eat it, and then leave to go to Cub Scouts. Now you're going to want to take your peppers, flip them upside down with about a fourth cup of water in your baking dish, and make sure it's microwave safe because you're going to pop it in the microwave for about 6 to 7 minutes till it's a little bit softened. And then while that's going, you can add your cauliflower and your pepperoni to the ground beef. For the pepperonis, I take about 2 ounces of them. I cut them into fourths and then add it to the pot to stir in with the tomato sauce. So I use whoa, that's a lot, but I use 2 cups of tomato sauce. And then I add in about a teaspoon of garlic powder, about a half a teaspoon of pepper, another teaspoon of Italian seasoning, and then I'll take about a half a teaspoon of salt and add that in there before everything gets kind of stirred together. And then you're going to want to mix that up really good. Let the heat start kind of making it get bubbly, and then after it's nice and mixed up, you're going to want to put your lid on so that it can kind of simmer for just a couple minutes, not very long. While it was cooking, I went ahead and just shredded up some cheese. I wanted to make 2 cups of cheese to add into the mixture, and then kind of let that get melty and stirred around with that. That doesn't take too long either, just a couple of minutes total. Don't want it to cook super duper hard because you're going to put it in the oven. Now that the peppers are done from the microwave, you're just going to take them out, empty out the water, make sure it's kind of dried out, and then you'll put them back in right side up, and you'll start spooning your mixture into each of the little pumpkin faces. And then after that, you'll put the lids back on top. Then you will put it in the oven at 350 for about 15 minutes. And then after that time is up, then you'll take the lids off and put some more cheese on the top and let it melt down for about 5 more minutes. Once you put it back in the oven, let it cook for 5 more minutes, get all melty, and you take them out, you can put the lids back on, and then they come together and are so stinking adorable. All right, so here they are. It doesn't matter if it seeps out of the mouth. The droopier, the better. The spookier it is with its rings hanging out the top. What do you think of it, Connor? Are they cute? All right, happy Halloween, early Halloween, everybody. I had to show you our little chicken babies and how pretty they are. This week we put a tarp on the top of their coop because their coop is right underneath this 100-plus-year-old horse chestnut tree. Like, this thing is massive, and it drops these gigantic balls that have these horse chestnuts inside of them, and they're everywhere. So this is about to be the kids' chores this week. I wanted to show you guys my plant that my son got me a few days ago. I still haven't planted it outside, but I'm going to Google to see if it'll last inside if I repot it, because it is so joyful and so beautiful, and I would love to have some color in my kitchen for the rest of the year, or longer if possible. And but I'll get to the task at hand. What I am planning on making is this crusty Dutch oven bread from Jill Winger's cookbook, and she recommends using a 5-quart Dutch oven, which I do not have. I only have this adorable pumpkin-shaped 2-quart Dutch oven that I got from TJ Maxx.
or actually I think I got it from Home Goods. But per her recipe, it's supposed to make 2 loaves. So if my math is right, if I make this recipe as is, I could make 5 separate bread balls, and they'll each be the size for this. And she says that you can use the dough up to a week after having prepped it, which is great for me because my family goes through bread really fast. So it'd be nice to already have some like already prepped, ready to go bread. So let's get to work. I'll show you what I'm going to do. For this recipe, you add 1 teaspoon of active dry yeast, 1 tablespoon of sea salt, and then you add in 3 cups of warm water and just mix all of that up. And then you'll let it kind of sit for just a little bit to get bubbly. And then you will add in 6 cups of all-purpose flour and just mix that up. I just used a fork to mix it up. She said to do it kind of rough. I guess you don't want to make it super duper smooth. There's supposed to be bubbles and air pockets in the dough. So that is what I did. Then you're supposed to let it rise for 3 to 5 hours covered. And in that time period, I was going to make some cinnamon rolls, but my daughter woke up, as you'll see in a minute, and I ended up spending time with them, so I forgot to film it. Guess your person just woke up from a nap. Didn't you? You just got your crazy hairs. Check out this mountain, you guys. This is Mount Rainier, and it's gorgeous. This was our view on the way to buy a car. We didn't get home until like 10 o'clock at night. As you can see, I'm a little bit over it. I have this bread that I have to get out of this bowl. It's been rising for like 6 hours at this point, and I have to prepare it and cut it into the 4 quarters and put it on the parchment paper and get it ready to go in the oven. And by the time I got done with all of this baking, it was literally about 11:45. Then you're supposed to take a knife and cut slashes in the top of your bread dough ball. And so I did that. And then you're supposed to also preheat your oven at 475 degrees for 45 minutes with the cast iron pot in the oven before you even put the bread dough in. So I've put the bread dough in now after it's been warmed and preheated for 45 minutes. And then I put the lid on the very, very hot Dutch oven. So you let it cook for 30 minutes with the lid, then you take that off and you let it cook uncovered for another 10 minutes. And then it comes out with this nice, beautiful, crunchy outside and super soft center. Here are those cinnamon rolls that I had tried to make yesterday, but I accidentally turned off the counter. But they turned out so good, you guys. I have never made cinnamon rolls from scratch. So when I served these to my family this morning, I was like, well, what do you guys think of them? And they're like, they're good. And I was like, I made these, right? And they're like, oh, I thought it came out of one of those canned things. This is amazing. But if you guys would like to see me make these next week, just let me know and I can do it again. I'm sure my family will not complain.
No.
Fish.
Oh, we're waterboarding our Barbies now. Uh-oh. Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I want more.
Thanks so much for joining us this week and seeing what we've been up to. If you enjoyed anything that we've shared today, please drop a like. And if you have made your own bread in a Dutch oven, tell me what your favorite Dutch oven to use has been, that you've gotten the most consistent results from. I would love to know. As well as please subscribe so you can see what we're up to next week. Y'all have a blessed day.